It's the SFL nights it's the SFL nights with A.J.Striker, with A.J.Striker. It's the SFL nights it's the SFL nights with A.J.Striker, with A.J.Striker. Ashley Jackson about the action. SFL news, come and join with interaction. Whatever happens, happens. Yeah, you will leave with satisfaction. Yeah, tell your team and tell your captain. Come and tune in, new episodes weekly. You can tune in.
All right, SFL Nation, welcome back to SFL Nights with A.J. Striker. Thank you so much for joining me today or tonight or whenever you decided to hit that play button or turn on that radio dial. Really appreciate it, y'all. Look who I have here. My co-community ambassador, Mr. Dave Access. How you doing, Dave?
I am doing outstanding, AJ. What's up? How you doing? What's going on, SFL Nation? What's cracking tonight?
Man, chilling with a great conversation with a friend. Now, it's been about 8 months since you've been on the show. What's going on, man?
You tell me.
What do
you tell me. How I can only be on your show every 8 months?
No. You have an open book. All you gotta do is say, "Hey, Ashley, I'm penciling you in to do your show this day." Cool, it's done. What are you eating?
So check this out. Can you see this?
Oh, yes, I can.
Okay, so you know how people make Rice Krispie treats?
Yeah.
So Pink Lisa makes Rice Krispie treats, but she makes them with cocoa pebbles.
Ooh.
Oh my God! Let me tell you, Ashley, it's like the fourth best thing I ever put in my mouth.
Really? That actually sounds pretty good, though.
Oh, it's off the chain.
I'm kind of curious to know what's the first three things you put in your mouth. Okay, it's all right.
That's for after dark. And then what do? I gotta wash it down with a buttery Chardonnay, of course.
Buttery Chardonnay. So, what is your favorite Chardonnay, or your favorite?
So here's the deal. Chardonnay is actually, ironically, because it's been labeled, is actually not even my favorite wine. I'm more of a cab guy. I like Petit Verdot. I like Petit Shiraz. I mean, there's a lot of other red wines that I like better than. I'm not a white wine guy, but it's summertime.
Yeah.
It's hot as. Can we swear on this show?
You can.
It's hot as fuck in the Southeast since I moved from California, and you know what? Cold white wine just goes better with the summertime than room temperature red wine. So this buttery Chardonnay, I think this is, I'll have to ask Lisa what it is. I can't remember which one this is, but we bought a few this weekend and we've been just tearing them up because it's been so fucking hot. So
I definitely understand that. I worked at Maggiano's Little Italy, which is an Italian restaurant in Atlanta. I worked there for like 8 years. So as a part of our daily meetings, we would often taste different wines that we would have on special, things like that. White wines are cool. Chardonnays are probably the strongest ones. But I do like the Merlots. I'm more of a Sangiovese kind of person.
Yeah.
Too. Malbecs.
Listen. So Malbec from Argentina, of course. I mean,
yes.
I'm a wine snob. I'm a wine geek, nerd, dork, whatever you want to call it. We spent 4th of July at a winery. Myself, Lisa's side of the family who moved to Knoxville since we moved here. One of my buddies from the Marine Corps and his wife that moved here to Knoxville since we moved here. And I had a Sangiovese from there that was so good. I bought a case of it to bring home. And this is a Tennessee Sangiovese, not an Italian. Hello, not an Italian Sangiovese. By the way, everybody knows why I'm wearing this hat, right? Go Italy in the championship, the Euro Cup 2020 championship on Sunday against England. Go Italy. Side note, a little sidebar action there. This fucking interview is going to go all kinds of sideways, right?
Oh yeah,
I've been drinking for like the last 3 hours and I'm still drinking. So sorry, Ashley. Shit, what was the question? Sangiovese. So yes, it is a phenomenal Sangiovese, and we know the owners pretty well.
Oh.
They do some things to the wine that big winemakers do. I'm sorry, they don't do things to the wine that big winemakers do. And so, for example, like color. When the reason you get a big cab that's very purpley or dark red is because they add food color to it. It's not the actual colors of the grapes. If you were to just do the colors of the grapes on all of them, they would all be that light red, almost pink color, right?
Exactly.
And so they don't add any. So their Sangiovese, their Cab Franc, whatever, they all look the same because they don't add the dye. And I think it actually improves the flavor. So anyway, there you go, SFL Nation. There's your wine lesson that you didn't ask for tonight, but
that's pretty dope. Because actually, they've never told us that when we were working there. They would always say, like, if you get different notes in the wine, you have to age it in different barrels. You can smoke the barrel or burn the barrel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So bourbon and whiskey smoking in wine barrels is very popular right now. For like the last year and a half, super popular. Bourbon barrel wine is off the charts right now. It's crazy. It's a crazy industry. It's a crazy world, the wine world. If I literally had the money to indulge in the wines that I really wanted, I'd probably still be broke. So it doesn't matter. But just saying.
You probably just own your own winery.
Well, let me tell you, my favorite winery is out of Northern California, in Lodi, California, and it's literally called Michael David.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Say, good night, SFL Nation. Good night, everybody.
But yeah, man. So welcome back, and thank you for that wine lesson. Definitely, we can do this at least once a month.
Okay. Oh, I could have a wine of the month show if you want.
I believe you, and we should. We probably should.
All right, let's do that.
So there have been some things going on with Lone Star Glory, going on with you that I definitely wanted to touch on. But before we start on all of that, give me an overview of how you think your season went as a wide receiver, as a player, and just overall.
So here's the great thing that I love about Lone Star, and I'm pretty sure, I think I might have mentioned this even 8 months ago, last time I was on your show, is that at Lone Star, we do everything collaborative. We believe in the philosophy that many hands make light work. A lot of people contribute at Lone Star, not just off the field, but on the field as well. If you look at Ace was hooking up me, hooking up Adam Williams, hooking up Deuce, hooking up Soto, hooking up Ike McBride, even hooking up Cam Collier out of the backfield. And if you look at what's great about Lone Star and what's great about Ace as a quarterback is I led the team in touchdowns. Soto led the team in I believe it was yards, and I think he led in receptions, but it was really close with Deuce. So everybody got like a little piece of the pie. We don't have that one receiver that's going to lead in all categories. So you can't come into Lone Star and game plan and scout against us and be like, oh, we're going to shut down Soto, because then Deuce and Axis will light you up. And you can't say, well, Deuce is having a good rookie season, we're going to, stop him. And then, Soto and Axis light you up, right? So that's what I love the most about Lone Star, and what I loved most about our season last season is we had balance. Now, the problem with balance is you win some games you shouldn't win, you lose some games you should probably win, right? But at the end, it all balances out. I think we did maybe just slightly less better than we expected, but 2 seasons ago in our inaugural season, we went to the playoffs. We lost in the first round to Florida. Last season, we made it to the Elite Eight. So, boom. I guess Final Four this year, SFL Nation. I'm calling it right now. What's up? Boom.
There you go. And we're going to timestamp this, so just in case you don't make it.
No. Screenshot it, timestamp it, shoot to my DMs. I don't care. Just do it.
All right. So, you would say that you're very satisfied with your specific player's performance.
Yeah, because here's the funny thing, Ashley, right? So I got the whole diva reputation, the diva thing, which is great, and it's funny, and it's important, I think, especially in this league, especially when things turn into drama in this league, is that people need to understand that there is a difference between the player persona and the human being that is behind that player. Before I answer your question, let me just give you a quick example. Johnny Pickler is the perfect example of this. You know Johnny. You've met with John. You've talked to him. As a human being, he's amazing, right? But he plays a specific persona in this simulated league. He wants to be that cocky, talking shit, quarterback, whatever, right? The problem is, here's the problem, right? And this is what I think is a major problem in this league as a whole. people take that shit personal, and it's not personal. If Johnny wants to come on and talk shit, why would anybody take that personal? It doesn't matter. It's his persona. It's his player persona. Now, if you want to come back at him as a player persona, that's fine. The problem is, and I think the disconnect, Ashley, is where people as human beings try to take on the player persona, and people forget this is a fucking video game.
Yeah.
Right? So to go back and answer your question, as Dave acts as the diva, blah, 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 of course, I'd want to be the leading receiver on the best team and blah, blah, blah. But in reality, I just want to be a piece of the puzzle. And that's what we've done at Lone Star, right? I don't need to be. I think it's more advantageous for a team to have multiple weapons than to have one main weapon anyway, right? That's how you win ball games. Exactly. You don't throw the ball to the same guy every freaking play, right?
Exactly.
So I'm very happy with what my players done. And let me tell you, I've had offers to go to other teams to be the number one wide receiver. I did in my first free agency. I've even had people, even as the GM of Lone Star, I reached out to me like, hey, you want to come to our team? We'll make you the number one wide receiver. You can be GM. And I'm like, I'm good where I am. I'm good at number 2 wide receiver. I'm good with the team we built. I'd rather, and here's the deal. And I know this answer is a little long-winded, so you can probably edit it later. But when I was playing tournament level competition softball for several years back in the day, and when I started the team, I was the best player on the team. And my goal was to become the worst player on the team. And once I got to that goal, we won every tournament we ever played.
Really?
That's the goal, right? The goal is not to be the best player in your team. It's to be a player on the best team.
I like that. And I definitely understand about that whole persona thing, because I've often had talks with Johnny, and he explains to me the same exact thing. Hey,
he plays his role the best in this league out of anybody. Come on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's just some things, like when he burned the hat, I was like, Johnny, what? I
didn't even catch that in the video the first night.
You did?
It was on. So Eddie, and I already talked to Eddie, and it was just a misspeak. It's not a big deal. Eddie had mentioned on one of his shows, I think it was show number 2, that he burned his hat on the Access Live show. He didn't burn it on my show. He burned it on the London show before my show that night, right? And we did the London show, we did the league show, the league schedule release show, and then we did my show, which again, that's splitting hairs. It doesn't really matter. But to be honest with you, Ashley, it happened so fast in the video, I didn't even catch it until people started talking about it.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So again, why are we making a big deal about him burning a virtual hat of a virtual team when in real life Johnny's just a stand-up guy? And again, this isn't the defend Johnny show or whatever. It's just the example we're using, but that's what I'm saying. That's a great example that you brought up of what people get upset about in this league that really is just a waste of energy.
Yeah, I got you. So with that, you said you had some notable wins and some, losses as well.
Right.
I would say that Jacksonville, that you guys winning over Jacksonville is definitely notable twice.
Yep. We beat Mexico City.
Yes, we did beat Mexico City.
We beat Florida, the team who made the championship.
Exactly. So you have had some definitely credible wins. Now, would you say that was due to the team build, or would you say that that's due to coaching, a little bit of both, scouting? What
I would say it is a combination of all of the above, right? So you got to have good scouting, you got to have good coordinating, you have to have good coaching, and everybody knows, listen, I know the elephant in the room, the coaching situation at Lone Star between Coach and Greg, Coach leaving, Coach and us. Listen, here's another great example. Coach and I in real life, really good friends. Yeah. Coach and I on the in the locker room or on the field or whatever, just didn't have the same philosophy, right? And it's okay. And here's the other thing. Another thing I think that people get too caught up in this league is that it's okay to disagree, right? So people are like, oh, if you don't agree with me, then you're an asshole, or I don't like you, or I'm gonna tell my friends about you. But it's okay to disagree. I mean, that's what this country is founded on. That's what this league is founded on. A whole bunch of different ways to do things, right? Florida doesn't run their team the same way Lone Star, and Lone Star doesn't run the same way as Arizona. If we all ran our team the same way, how boring would this league be?
Very.
Right?
Very.
So I don't think it necessarily needs to be everybody being upset about every little thing just because you don't agree. I mean, I've had great conversations. Let me tell you, so it's a well-documented history then Andy Hamilton and I have not gotten along over the years. Andy reached out to me a couple months ago, and him and I over the last couple months have had some amazing dialogue, kind of burying the hatchet and kind of, getting on the same page with just respecting each other in our different point of views, right? Again, if Andy and I had the same point of view and everything, what's the point of even talking?
Exactly.
So I think at the end of the day, Coach leaving Lone Star, as tragic as it feels and as terrible as it was at the time, probably better for Coach and probably better for us just because of the difference of philosophy. I still talk to Coach all the time. He's still on my show all the time. It's great. It's no problem. We just on the field, we didn't agree and we decided to part ways. That's it. So I think that too many times we make mountains out of molehills in this league. And I think that needs to stop, to be honest with you.
That was going to be my next question, because Lone Star did have a big shakeup as far as ownership, as far as coaching. And I was wondering, what is going on over there? Because it's one thing to hear things from other people that have nothing to do with the organization, from hearsay. But since you were the GM, and we're going to touch about why did you step back from being GM and all of that too.
Oh, we're going to talk about that too?
Yeah, we're going to talk about
Then you tell me we're going to get all personal and shit.
Hey, you said all questions.
I didn't say that on camera.
I got you. I was slick recording.
Oh, you were slick recording me? Great. All right, hold on. Can I do that? How's that go? What's your question? I told you I'm an open book tonight. I will answer everything except for one thing. So I'm an open book tonight. Go ahead.
I'm still asking about that one thing too.
You can ask it. You can ask it all you want.
So what happened that made you want to step back from being GM?
So here's the deal. We have a philosophy at Lone Star, like I mentioned, of many hands make light work.
Right.
But there's only so much work that certain people can do, right? A regular player that's not in the front office, which obviously we don't have the front office thing anymore, but can only do so much because they're not part of the front office. Somebody who's not in the social media team or in the content team or that can only do so much because they're not part of that, right? And it goes all the way up to GM, it goes up to owner, the whole 9 yards. So many hands make light work, but each person can only do so much based on their limitations on the structure of each team, right? So we can agree on that. The issue is Charles and I have done a lot of the heavy lifting at Lone Star. Not to say that other people haven't contributed, but based on the level of work that needs to get done at each level, it's that. I felt like it was time for Charles and I to lighten the load a little bit and get some more people involved at higher levels. Hence, Yogi and Albert being promoted to co-GM. Hence, Ace being promoted to Director of Communications. We have Freddie, and I can't remember. I think we announced this last season, maybe the season before, is the head of scouting or director of scouting. So we're giving people, we just don't throw titles around with, to quote Spider-Man, or is it Spider-Man, right? with great power comes great responsibility, right? So with a title comes more work to do. That's it. And so we got to that point where we felt like Charles and I needed to concentrate on some more important things. And actually more important, probably not the right term, just other things. Like I talked about the different, you can only do so much at each level, and let other people come in and fill the gaps and do some work. And listen, Yogi's been here since day one. He's been part of the Lone Star crew from day one. He's always been helping out with rosters, with contracts, with progressions anyway. So it was a natural fit for him to be there. Albert already did that over at Queen City. Right. So that was also a natural fit. So it was just, and they both get along really well. So that just kind of flowed. And the great part about that whole transaction, Ashley, is that we lost 3 people, right? We lost Coach, we lost Dougie, we lost Cam. Well, then we brought in 3 people. We brought in Albert, Tina, and James Troll. It was almost like, the stars aligned and the heavens and blah, 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 whatever. So anyway. So I don't even know if I answered your question, but there's your long-winded answer. How about that?
If what I'm gathering from what you told me, basically you kind of wanted to share the responsibility with everybody, because being a GM is no joke, especially if you're trying to be a good one.
It's a lot of work.
You can wear the title all day, but if you're not actually helping your ownership crew do what they need to do, or your coaches, then what's the point,
Right.
And
and here's the thing too, Ashley, and I don't want to toot Lone Star's horn too much, but I'm going to. Listen, I tell people all the time, and I tell rookies this, and I tell free agents this. I'm like, listen, you're in Vegas and you want to get into the hottest club in town, and there's a line out the door, around the building, down the block. But guess what? You know the DJ. So I'm with the DJ. I'm with the DJ. That's what I tell everybody. I was like, listen, Lone Star is the hottest club in town. And if you want to get in, you're with the DJ, baby.
I mean, it's the second hottest.
Yeah.
But,
second hot. I don't wait. Are you talking about Vegas?
No, it's the second hottest.
You're totally confusing me right now.
Oh no! Don't be confused.
Oh no, you're totally confusing me.
All right, so the delegation of different responsibilities to people that were very good to start helps alleviate you to do things that you need to do to help Charles in that end.
It opens me up to do other things that we will talk about at the end of your show.
Awesome. So I know without having Brian on and Doug on, they were telling me that basically that they were always a package deal. What was your thoughts, your initial thoughts when they told you that they were leaving?
Well, let's redefine the when they told me they were leaving part. We always knew that Dougie and Cam were a package deal with Coach.
Right.
So really the dialogue was between me and Charles and Coach.
Okay.
So once we knew Coach was leaving, and listen, and again, we love Coach and we're still good friends with Coach. And again, this is not an off the field thing. This is only on the field thing. Once we knew Coach was leaving, we already knew Doug and Cam were leaving. So we already knew even before those conversations began that if Coach ever left, we wouldn't be losing one person. We would be losing 3 people.
Thus, you prepare for that by going out and doing. Got it.
Right. And listen, I talked to other people about coming on as head coach and GM before I talked to Albert, or in the process while I talked to Albert. The mere fact that they had 3 was a bonus or icing on the cake. It wasn't the sole reason. We weren't like, oh my God, we need to replace 3 people with 3 people, so we better go grab Albertina and James. We could have filled it up with free agents and rookies, no problem. It was not. That's not. If we found a GM that was only one person, filling the other 2 slots would not have been an issue. It just happened to work out that way, and which helps me feel like it was the right decision.
Okay, gotcha. With ownership, there have been some things going on that is not fruitful to the league, that is not fruitful to the team. And I was wondering if you were able to speak on it in regards to Wally.
Okay, so hold on one second. I'm texting Lisa to see if she'll bring me some more wine. Hold on.
That's important.
Well, we'll see how much she loves me in a few minutes. So in regards to Wally, I cannot and will not comment.
Okay.
The issue between Charles and Wally and Cam in the league, whatever have you, I assume it's still ongoing. But here's the great thing. I don't know, because I recused myself from the whole thing because I didn't want to be in the middle of it. I'm not an owner. I'm not a league representative. I'm not at that level. So I didn't want to be involved. So I told Charles, I told Wally, I told Cam, don't tell me anything. Don't send me DMs about this. I don't want to know anything about it. So whatever's going on with them is going on with them. And to be honest with you, and I can be completely honest, I have no clue.
Okay. Understood.
Oh, I hear footsteps. I hear footsteps. Oh, who loves me? Hi, baby. Oh, you're bringing me the whole bottle? So Ashley says hi. Chateau Saint Jean tonight.
Yes.
2000, I think it says 16, creamy Chardonnay. You can see it. Boop, boop. There you go. That's what I'm drinking tonight, folks.
Actually, we used to sell that particular brand, and I was wondering if that was one of the ones. So
So
People
what's
really like
interesting?
that one.
Yeah, what's interesting about that? Oh, I just lost my camera with you. Hold on. Oh, there you are. This actually isn't one of our norms. We actually picked this up at the store on the way to our 4th of July celebration and hadn't had it before Sunday. So we drank a little bit of it on Sunday with all the other alcohol we drank, and then it's been in the fridge ever since. So
Nice. Should be good. Makes great sangrias too.
well, oh, don't get me started on sangria right now.
Okay.
How long do you want this show to be?
So where do you see the future of Lone Star? You know, because like I said, you had a fantastic season, you know, winning against teams and even growing as a unit together. With all of the different changes in ownership and in coaching, where do you see you guys going from here?
Here's an interesting thing. You talked about growing. Well, everybody knows, even from when you were a little kid, through being a kid, physically growing, through school, through work, what comes with growing pains, right? Yes. So, you know, the thing with coaching them, that's a growing pain. It just, you know, it has to happen. The great thing about Lone Star, these guys in this locker room, and women, by the way, we have 2 now. We have 2 ladies on the team.
Look at you.
What's up, trendsetters? This team is resilient. We can lose to DC and give them their first victory of the season and come back and beat Mexico City.
Yeah.
That's how resilient this team is, right? So when we take a bad loss, when we have somebody leave or we have an issue, to be honest with you, Ashley, I don't even worry about it because I know this team sees through the bullshit, right? They see through the losses, they see through the bad moments, they see through the bullshit. And everybody is solid. And I got to tell you, there's only 3 teams that didn't have to draft this season, and we were one of them. And there's a reason for that, right? And even with losing, I think we lost 6 people in the offseason,
right?
And we still didn't have to draft.
Beautiful feeling, isn't it?
It's beautiful. It's you know, it's, dare I say, glorious?
I knew it was coming.
You knew I was going to sneak that in somewhere. That's a prerequisite for any interview I do, just so you know.
But yeah, that is a great feeling to know that you do what you can as a GM, even as a team, to make people feel welcome and valued. And even if they do decide they want to take first positions somewhere else, you know that you did everything that you could with them and that you groomed them to kind of be a good player for another team.
And here's the thing too, like I said, still great friends with Coach and Dougie. I still talk to them on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. Cam was always kind of quiet anyway. So, but from everything I hear, everything I've seen, he's a great guy too. But Coach and Dougie, we still talk all the time. Both have been on my show just recently. And so I mean, I have zero ill will towards them. I don't want them to fail just because they left Lone Star. I still want them to succeed. Fuck, I hope they both make the All-Star game this season. Now, I hope they lose to, wait, do we play them this season? I think we do. Do we play them or we play London? I can't remember the schedule off the top of my head, but if we play them, yeah, I hope they fucking play terrible and we kick their ass. But outside of that, I hope they have a great season, right? I have no ill will, especially when, let's be honest, when it comes to real life, there's so many more important things in a person's life than a video game. And so if I hope your player does shitty, it doesn't mean that I want you to do shitty as a human being.
Right.
And I certainly don't want Dougie and Coach, because Coach is one of my closest friends and has been ever since I got here in this league. And so I would never want anything bad to happen to Coach.
Absolutely. And I mean, that's just the beauty of the game. And that's if you're playing real football or any kind of team sport, you know, hey, if your friend is on the other team, hey, we're going to be cool. But when that whistle blows.
When we get on the field, it's fucking on, baby. That's it.
You know?
That's it.
I get that. So how did it feel to share the Community Ambassador Award with me?
I'm kind of pissed off I didn't vote for myself. Oh shit! I'm just playing. Oh, that was shit. That shit was funny, dude. Yeah, I didn't even plan that. That just came out.
Yeah, that was true.
So, hey, you know how people wear? Hey, you know how people buy new hats And like Eddie, right? Like Eddie, and they would leave the stickers on and shit. Look at my chair back there. You see the tag still on my
I
fucking
do.
Yeah, I've had this chair for like 2 years, but go
And
ahead.
you still won't take the damn tag off.
Nah, because I feel like if I cut it, I'm gonna lose my good luck or something.
Okay.
Anyway, what was the question?
How do you feel about sharing community ambassador with me?
I guess the question is, how do you feel about sharing it with me? I know you're a four-time winner, but I'm like back to back, baby. I'm like consecutive.
So was I. I had it 3 times
Wait,
before you
I'm
did.
sorry. Did you say was? I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, was. It
Yeah,
still
was.
counts.
Right.
It still counts.
But who's consecutive right now?
You, but you're still sharing it.
I'm sorry. No. We're back up. What was the
Technically-
Y word again? What was the Y word?
Technically, you only have half of it.
2 years in a row, baby. That's all I gotta say. 2 seasons in a row. So actually, we need to call it ambassador of the season. I don't know why we call it ambassador of the year. We need to change the name. That's why I did on the axes. I made them of the season instead of the year, because we have 2 seasons a year. It's kind of not right to call us the year. However, since I was voted ambassador of both seasons, then technically I guess I could be called ambassador of the year. I didn't even think about that shit till right now.
No, you're sharing it with me. Sorry, buddy. But yeah, that was surprising to me.
I was shocked that we tied with that many votes.
Tyler. To be honest, I thought it was gonna be Tyler.
I pushed for Tyler, and listen, and I said it, and AJ, I hope you didn't take any disrespect. And I said, no disrespect to you and Nelson and Coach and Slyn Shady even and all these people, but nobody did what Tyler did this season. Let's be honest. He did a lot of work from the off season between 15 and 16 all the way to the off season this season. He probably put in the most work of any of us. Mm-hmm. I honestly felt, and to be honest with you, I voted for Tyler because I was pushing him. I promoted him. I felt like he was going to win. I didn't feel like I did anything special this past season. I felt like I did exactly in season 16 what I did in season 15. Right. So when somebody like Tyler comes along and does all these extra things, I kind of feel like he should have won it, to be honest with you. So I agree with you. I think Tyler should have won it. Again, no disrespect to you and me and Coach and everybody, but I think Tyler should have won it. I still think that.
And I think he did do a lot, from the broadcasting, the stats team, to creating his own show, to contributing with the writing and things like that. So,
and being a commentator on games, not just SFLM, but also SFL, sideline reporter for the championship game. I mean, the list goes on and on for that kid. Mm-hmm. He put in the work. He put in the work. So
he did.
But to answer your question,
maybe he'll take your spot next season.
No. So we're gonna have a 3-way. Wait. Wait. That's not what I meant. This interview is going sideways. Maybe I should drink some. You know what? Shit. Maybe I should drink some water. Hold on a second. Fuck.
I'm not cutting none of this, right?
Hey, unedited, unscripted. Hey,
that's
come on.
it.
That's how we roll, baby.
That's how we roll.
Hey, to be honest with you, I would like to know. I wish I could know how many votes he got, how close he was to tying with you and I.
Yeah.
Because a 3-way tie would have been even more epic than just a 2-way tie, to be honest.
Absolutely.
But listen, I'm actually very humbled by when I was extremely humble winning it the first year or first season, sorry. And I was actually shocked. Lisa and I were out on the deck. We were having dinner. We had the phone up. I'm watching it on the phone. Is leaning against a bottle of wine, shocker. And we're watching, and he said Dave Axis and Ashley Jackson. But when I first heard Dave Axis, I literally said, no fucking way. There's no fucking way. I was like, there's no way. I didn't think I thought I was going to finish third. I thought Tyler was going to win. I thought you were going to be a close second, and I would finish third. That's how I thought it was going to go down. I mean, shows you how much I know in this league, I guess. But
none of us know exactly what's going to go on. You know,
and it's kind of a weird award, right? It's like, I don't know. I mean, all the other awards are awards you really want to win, right? And I'm not saying we don't want to win this one, but if a community ambassador is a true ambassador, why would you want to win something over other people, right? And I know it's going a little deeper than any other awards, but it's kind of a weird award, and it's the only award that you have to write somebody in, which makes it even crazier.
Well, the thing was, before I had actually won it twice, And Cam had mentioned to me that he was gonna have it right in for that third time. Then I wanted again. He was like, hey, Ash, I don't know if we're gonna even just put you anywhere near the ballot, just to give somebody else a chance at that. And I definitely understand that. But
I don't think there should be a deterrent. Listen, if you win it 10 times in a row, then you win it 10 times in a row. I don't think just because somebody keeps winning an award. I mean, if McChesney keeps winning the MVP, are you going to take him out of the MVP race? No. I don't think you should do that. But go ahead.
No. But in a sense, I kind of understand. But with that particular award, it means a lot to me, because when you're a community ambassador, in my eyes, it's how well you care for the community. Meaning, are you there? Do people see you? What do you do for the community? Are you involved heavily on field as well as off field? When I do my wellness checks on everybody, it's not something that I'm doing just to get kudos from everybody, but I genuinely care about people. And that's the reason that I do that.
No, I get that. Here's the issue, Ashley. Community ambassador is not defined, right? So what does that mean? What does that? It means something to you. It can mean something completely different to me. It could mean something different to every voter that votes on it.
Right.
It could be something different to Cam, who made up the award.
Right.
And that's the issue, is we don't know, right? Some people may think, oh, it's my favorite show, or it's the person who checks up on me the most, or it could be who has the best off-field presence, right? There's just so many definitions that I think unless you actually define the award, it's so wide open that, I mean, unless you can get into every voter's head, you won't have a clue.
I think, and Johnny actually brought this up on one of our shows, that we should probably separate content creator of the season award and then do a community ambassador, so that people can kind of know the difference.
That wouldn't be bad. I also like, somebody put in, I want to say it was the content team, I don't remember exactly, that we should separate written content from show content too, because let's be honest, the show content gets more hype than the written content, even though the written content in this league is outstanding, right? I mean, everything from Jacob Clear's articles to Slyn Shady, Axel Raven helping out with that stuff. I mean, there's so many people that do the written content. The written content is phenomenal. So I agree. I think next season, maybe, and Cam, if you're listening, if you're watching, you better be watching Ashley's show. Is that we should have, maybe instead of calling a community ambassador, maybe we have, video content and written content of the year or something like that. So I agree with Johnny's assessment overall. I think we should narrow it down even more, though.
Absolutely. Or define it.
Define it, right. I agree with that. Because I think community ambassador as a whole is just too wide open.
I agree. So another thing before we get to your big news.
Wait, I have big news?
Yeah, well, guess what you told me. Unless you've been drinking too much and you forgot.
Well, that's always a possibility with me. But go ahead.
But, dang it, man, you made me forget what I was going to ask.
Well, you know what? Listen, a good interviewer doesn't forget what she was going to ask.
And look, I haven't even been drinking.
Well, that's even worse. You're not helping your cause, Ashley.
Stop it.
Sorry, I was sorry, I was DMing Charles real quick. Sorry, go ahead.
No worries. So, what do you think that the league could improve upon, just overall? Because we're growing as a league, things like that. But do you see anything that the league could probably do a little bit better?
I think we need more wine.
Okay. That's definitely.
I would put that number one on the list for sure.
Okay. And you just finished that one.
I just emptied that box. Is there anything that I think the league could be doing better? Let me tell you this. I've had lots of talks with Cam. And listen, it's no secret that I've been pretty hard on the league. I've been pretty hard on certain people in the league. I've been pretty hard on Cam from time to time. Obviously, we had the whole Shan thing and Damon and all that stuff, which it is what it is at this point. But so I've been pretty hard on some people in this league. And I think a lot of it just stems from the fact that I know this league is great, but I think it can be even greater. And when I see people not making it as great as I think I can, I get a little frustrated, right? And that's not a shot at Cam. It's just an observation league wide, right? To everybody. It could go to owners, could go to GMs, could go to content creators, whatever. I like what they did last season when they added a couple teams and made it 24 teams. I like that they went to divisions. I think divisions is amazing. I would actually like to see us play each team twice and then play the rest of the games outside and just rotate it through other divisions season to season. I like the was it 3 seasons ago now, or 2 seasons ago, when they came up with the new payment method, payment style.
Right.
But I gotta tell you, it seems like every season or every off season, the league steps their game up in some area, right, in some arena. And this season they did it in progression. So I think the fact that even if we're taking baby steps, although I think progression is it's like man on the moon, right? Small step for man, giant step for mankind, whatever. Right.
Exactly.
I think that was humongous. That may be the best thing this league's done in probably 3 or 4 seasons. But as long as we're moving forward, even if it's baby steps, as long as we're progressing, then I give kudos to the league. I give kudos to Cam. Oh shit, did my camera move? Hold on.
No, you're fine.
I gotta get my Lone Star in there, baby. Come on. So I give a lot of kudos. I think the number one thing we need to do, and I'll tell you why this happened, or why I believe this and what happened to make me believe this. Johnny, God, why the fuck do we keep coming back to Johnny? I mean, dude, we should have had Johnny on this fucking show.
We should have
I know, right? Just interview Dave Axis / Johnny Pickler. Johnny has been, barking up a storm for seasons about having an ID process. Now, I've talked to Cam about this. Cam has done community chats on this. When he feels like there's an acceptable system for that, then he will institute that. But I think that's the next big step in this game. Obviously, the next big step or eventual big step is a new platform, but that's down the road still. But in the short term, ID, I think it's vital, Ashley. I think, and listen, no, I don't want to rip on Justice Blackwell. Okay. Justice Blackwell and I got into it about some SFLM stuff. And listen, Justice, I got nothing against you, bro. It's all good. It's water in the bridge. You want to come on the show, whatever, we're cool. I don't care. But here's the issue, Ashley. I didn't know until he came on, I think it was Nelson's show. He's actually an adult. He's a man, right? At the time, I didn't know if he was a kid. I didn't know. Am I debating an 11-year-old kid whose parents are going to come out and try to sue the league because Dave Axis called his 11-year-old kid a certain name or something like that? And God forbid we get a younger female in here who's having a conversation with an older male. And I don't want to get too crazy and detailed in here, but those are all possibilities, and they've happened in other leagues. They've happened in other channels. It's been on Twitch before. There's always been these issues. So far, I think the league has been lucky. But I would say if Cam was here right now, I would say, honestly, the next big thing that we need to do is we got to figure out an ID process. I think it's vital for the sustainability of the league.
I agree. Because you don't know exactly, unless you're watching one of our shows and actually see the person and things like that, you don't really know who you're talking to.
Right. Justice Blackwell said something on Nelson's show, I think about his age or somewhere where he was an adulthood or something, that made me realize, oh my God, this is a man in his like 30s or something like that, right? Yeah. But at the time I was arguing with him in Gen Chat, I had no clue. I didn't even know who he was. So, and I think that I think it puts handcuffs on people, but more importantly, I think it gives the league liability that they don't want. And listen, this isn't a rip on Cam again. I think Cam is doing everything season by season as much as he can do. Mm-hmm. But if you're asking me what I think the next thing is, now that we've already got the payment system down, now that we've got progression down and all that, I think the next big thing is some kind of ID system.
Yeah. And I've heard talks about that, and I agree with that too. And I will say this progression, this new progression thing that we're doing right now.
Wait, hold on a second.
Wonders. Yeah.
Oh my God. Do I have a pimple?
Oh
hold on.
God.
I have a blemish.
Oh my gosh.
Hold on. All right. We're gonna cut. Shit. I think I have a
Freaking
blemish.
divas, man.
Fuck, I'm sorry. All right, go ahead. All right, and action.
I can't with you. I can't with you sometimes. Okay.
No, this is why you only have me on every month.
Nuts, man. But yeah, I definitely agree with the baby steps needing, especially since we are growing progressively every single season. Having that progression, the automation definitely worked wonders.
Oh, it's huge. That was a game changer. It was a
That
game
really was. It made our job so much.
Well,
much
think
easier.
one of the best things it did, it freed up Marcus Dunhill to come back and be able to be a player, because he couldn't be a player while he was helping out the league with progression.
Exactly.
Amazing. It was an amazing move by the league.
Exactly. And I kind of felt that Marcus was going to come back at some point, because I know he had the itch, and it's something that you can go and do other things, but something about the SFL always draws you back, whether it's the community, whether it's missing seeing your player out there doing his or her thing on the field. It's always something.
It's even more than that, right? It's any great athlete, right? Michael Jordan has to come back. Joe Montana has to come back. Nobody retires. Almost no great player, except maybe like a Barry Sanders, of course, but retires and doesn't itch and ache to come back to the game. And I think that's where Marcus Dunhill, MVP, championship season, you retire on top, you let that settle in for a couple of seasons. Then when you come back, you don't have those same expectations anymore, because everybody's, he's been away from the game for a couple of seasons, give him some time to reacclimate. If he only takes one season off and comes back, they're like, why isn't he winning MVP and winning a championship? So I think Marcus played this perfectly. Whether he thought about this or not, I think it works out perfectly for him. It works out perfectly for his legacy. And the mere fact that we now have this great progression system frees him up to be able to come and hang out with us and play with us again.
Gotcha.
And now, I love him. And go Atlanta, baby. You know Atlanta. I got ATL love. You know that.
I was just getting ready to say. So since you were on ATL at one point, that's where you started your career off. What is the difference? I know you Lone Star for life, baby. I'm
LSG. Dude, I'm LFG. You know what LFG, when they put that in the chat? Let's fucking go. LFG for LSG, baby. That's what I am for life. All the time. If I'm not in this league, I'm probably not LSG.
So
unless somebody makes me. Unless somebody makes me.
It right here?
Wait, dude, I'll fucking tattoo that shit right here on my forehead. Except not in the virtual world, not in the real world. I'm not that stupid. Anyway, what was your question about Atlanta?
Well, what were the similarities and the differences between each locker room and each coaching staff?
Well, there's a lot, right? So let's take Atlanta. Seasoned owner, seasoned GM, seasoned quarterback, seasoned players, all that shit. Lone Star, it's like fucking Yahtzee. We're just rolling out the fucking dice and seeing what the fuck comes up at, when we first get started, because we're a brand new team, right? Yeah. We don't know. We're just trying to figure shit out at first. The great thing is we brought in enough great people at the very beginning that we were able to, we exceeded our first season expectations, right? We were actually ahead of the curve of where we want to be to win the season 19 championship. Did I say that out loud? Sorry. We thought, right? So we thought our first season we might fight for a playoff spot and we'll fall a little short. Then season 2 we'll get a playoff. Then season 3 will be, Elite 8, and then the Final 4. So we're already at least 1 to 1.5 seasons ahead of schedule right now. Now, a lot of that has to do with the people that we've brought in, not just at the beginning, but who we've brought in the last 2 seasons. The biggest difference between Atlanta and Lone Star is the seasoned veterans, from players all the way up to ownership, versus brand new ownership and brand new players at Lone Star trying to figure shit out. The greatest thing about that is we figured shit out. And I think our first 2 seasons, right? We made playoffs first season, lost first round. We made the Elite 8 last season. We expect to be in the Final 4 this season. Season 18, we want to be in the championship game, and we want to win a championship by season 19. That's the goal. It's been the goal since day one. We don't fuck around, baby. I'm just telling you.
Okay, I like it. It's good to have goals and aspirations.
Yes, it is. It's even better to Make them happen, baby. Make them
Yes,
happen.
absolutely.
Wait, so I'm just saying for the record, we're 2 for 2.
What do you mean?
Are in our goals each season. We've exceeded our expectations and our goals, both our first season and our second season. So if we continue that, we might win the championship of season 18 instead of season 19. I'm just saying.
Whoa.
Boom. Screenshot it, video clip it. I don't care.
Because you know it. You know somebody's going to do it.
I don't, dude, I do everything unedited, unscripted. I don't care. It is what it is.
Gotcha.
That's okay. Andy Hamilton will probably be all over my shit here in a few minutes about it anyway, so it's okay.
I'm sure he will.
He will be. That's okay. That's all right. It's all right.
So now, the moment that everybody has been waiting for.
Woo.
What is this big news that you got me about Mediea for?
Well.
Uh-oh.
Well,
wait, you're not leaving.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. What's that?
You're not leaving.
Leaving what?
You're not leaving the SFL or anything. Dave, don't play with me.
Okay, here's the deal. Rule number 1 on this announcement is you got to let me know a few minutes before you post this in Discord.
Okay.
Or on YouTube or whatever, because I'm going to tell you right now, but we're not going to post it in Discord or whatever until right before you put your show up.
Gotcha.
Because we want it to be breaking news.
Okay.
As you know, I stepped down as GM, and as you know, we only have one owner at Lone Star.
Mm-hmm.
So we felt the need that with 2 GMs and director of communications and a head coach and offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators and scout, we needed one more slot in there, kind of as a buffer, if you will, to kind of oversee all of this. So to someone that needs to not do as much heavy lifting anymore, but kind of oversee the entire operation. So effective, is today the 7th?
Yes.
Look at my phone. Effective today, I am the new president of the Lone Star Glory.
All right, Mr. President.
I am the president of all things glorious.
Well, congratulations, honey.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Charles and I talked a lot about how we should go about doing it, and I'll actually even read you here. I pulled it up just for your interview, Ashley. I did this just for you.
I feel so special.
I won't read you the whole announcement. Basically, it says that in addition to overseeing the recruiting and retention of high caliber SFL players, Dave Axis will lead Lone Star's social media strategy and play a key role in team business development, branding, and marketing. So our goal at Lone Star, we've got some big things coming. Some of it's going to happen in the next few weeks before season 17 starts. Some of it will happen during season 17. And then one more big portion will happen between season 17 and season 18. So we've got short-term goals, we have mid-range goals, and we have long-term goals, and we plan on executing every single one.
All right, listen, Jill. Listen, I think there could not be a better person, a better face of Lone Star than you, because you're out there. I would swear you're out there more than anybody.
I've been trying to scale back, sweetie. I don't know what to tell you. It just happened.
I mean, you got 2 shows a week. How you gonna scale back?
I'm only doing 1 show a week right now. I didn't do a show last night.
That's true. That's right. But
that's
only for right now.
Well, that's okay. I got to do 2 shows a week anyway, just to catch up with you.
This is show 169, brother.
I'm gonna do 7 shows a week for the next 6 months, just so I can pass you.
And then I'll take a little vacation and just stop doing it so you can catch up. Gotcha.
Let's do that. As a matter of fact, why don't you just be on my show every week and don't do your show anymore until I get to 169, and we'll call it even.
Are you asking me to be your co-host of Access Live, sir?
Ashley, are you there? You're breaking up. Hello? I'm going through a tunnel. Sorry. Come on, divas don't do co-hosts.
What would be the name of that show if you decided to do it together?
Davish? I don't know. Dave Ash? I don't know. Dave Jackson. I don't know. SFL nights with the party people.
David. Okay. Well,
Axis recorded. I don't know.
Speaking of recorded,
yes.
So why did you decide to make your show live, which I think was one of the biggest things that the league has seen since you've done it? Because when I was doing it, first I was doing just audio only, and then Kramer Jackman did his show recorded, and then Kim was like, well, hey, maybe you should step your game up and kind of do that too.
Right.
And so what made you want to go live?
The fact that nobody else was doing it is a big factor, right? And I mean, if you don't know me by now, I like to do everything kind of big and bold, and my goal is to be the best at everything I do, no matter what it is. It could be the littlest thing or the biggest thing, and that's just kind of the way that I'm built. And it's not a rip on other people who are doing the same thing. It's just who I am, right? So that's part of it, is I just wanted to be the best. Number two, I wanted to bring something to the league that wasn't being brought yet to the league. Number three, and this is probably the most important thing, Ashley, and I actually think I said this on your show last time, 8 months ago. So a lot of people who weren't here 8 months ago probably haven't listened to it or heard it, unless they went way back in your YouTube archives. Right. Is I'm too fucking lazy. I don't want to do all that fucking editing and recording shit. I'm like, let's fucking go live. Let's fucking just whip it out, and whatever happens, if Chad drinks a whole bottle of whiskey, or Eagle says inappropriate things, or Greg Soto talks in a female Asian voice, it is what it is.
Oh my God.
Or Bob, or what's his name? Bubba, or if Bubba Dacious comes on,
Bubba,
right? Or Jason Miller comes on and changes his voice 3 times during the interview. I mean, it is what it is. And that's what I wanted. I just wanted it to be live. I want it to be unscripted, because here's the thing. And people will tell you, I don't tell anybody that's going to be on the show what we're doing, other than, you've got these teams to preview and blah, blah, blah. I don't give anybody details. When we go live, we fucking wing it.
That's it.
And I mean, I have structure for myself, obviously, because I need to, I've got timing and whatever. We just wing it. And guess what? And whatever happens, happens. And you know what? I think that's what makes the show the best thing, is that it's completely unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen. People in the party, the party people of my show are fucking amazing. They make the show. They talk so much shit in the chat about me, or about anybody, or a team, or somebody. And I mean, God forbid a panelist make one mistake on my show and give her like a wrong information, and they're like, motherfucker. But it's great, right? That's what I love about it. The party people are by far the favorite part of my show. If I ever lost the party people, I just wouldn't do the show anymore, because it doesn't make any sense to do it. I love them. I love the feedback they give. I love the interaction. I love the back and forth. I love the teasing, the razzing, all of it. I love it all. And when you put all of that together, you have this one live, unpredictable show that show to show you have no idea what the fuck's going to happen.
Yeah. And that's good, that's really good. But notice that when you first started your show, you had a team that was working with you, and then all of a sudden the team left. So, well,
when you say define team, what are you talking about when you say my team?
So when you're, I think Eagle Mandavi, and
Eagle's still here. Okay. Eagle still. So let me tell you, no. So listen, when the Shan thing went down, everybody took a position, right? Yeah. And it wasn't just 2 positions; it was multiple positions, because some people said, "Hey, if Shan comes back, I'm out."
Right.
If Shan gets his team back, I'm out. If Shan gets anything but a lifetime ban, I'm out. If there's like 7 different things that people said that they would or wouldn't do based on the decisions that were made by Cam in the league, right? Well, Winkler, he drew a line in the sand, and that's fine. I respect that, right? I respect everybody's opinion on this. You like Shan. Shan was your friend. You did a show after my show. I'm not sure necessarily you defended him necessarily, but you gave him other options to talk about some things. And that's fine. If you want, that's fine too. I don't have a problem with that. I think the more points of view you get, the better on something like that anyway. Yeah. But Winkler drew a line in the sand. He said, listen, if Shan comes back and he gets a leadership position in the league on a team or whatever, then I can't help the team in any fashion at all for at least the rest of the season, maybe longer, depending on how I feel. I knew that already before he bounced, right? And I respect his decision, just like I respect everybody's decision on either side of the fence on this situation. So when he left, yeah, it was tough for me. But here's the great thing too, right? You know, through tough decisions or through tough times, through turmoil, you have growth, right? So in hindsight, if Winkler had never left, I may not have learned how to produce a show.
Yeah.
Guess what? Now I can produce a show. I learned things about OBS that I never knew because I was relying on Winkler to do them.
Right.
So the mere fact that he left, although at the time was a little devastating, I won't lie. I was like, holy fucking shit, what am I going to do? How am I going to have a show? Because to be honest with you, Ashley, I do better if I'm not producing the show because I can pay more attention to more things rather than switching graphics and music and all that stuff.
Right.
But at the end of the day, a couple great things happened, right? Number one, Winkler got to stick to his morals, his scruples.
Mm-hmm.
And number two, I got to learn some more things about producing my show and about OBS. So at the end of the day, it's all good. And listen, Winkler and Eagle and I, we talk all the time still. Eagle's still around, by the way. Eagle still runs my server. He takes care of all the guests. He makes sure we don't have any crazy people in the chat. Eagle's still around. But, you know, hey, Winkler, he drew a line and I respect it. So no big deal.
Understood. And yeah, everybody has a right to feel the way they want to feel and react to things the way they, choose to react and things like that. Now, with the editing, because I know you said you don't like to do nothing.
I want more work. Are you kidding me? Come on.
So is there a real difference between using OBS software and going live and editing? Only reason I'm asking is because I was testing out OBS myself. And when I'm editing, it looks very similar to when I'm making my edits, except you're just doing it live, as opposed to waiting till everything is already done.
Well, so you're doing OBS, but you're doing the record function, not the live function. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I did try the live function.
Right.
And where you can actually add your transitions and things.
Well, but that would, if you did the live function, that would broadcast you live on Twitch.
Right. That's what I did.
Okay.
That's what I did. And so just trying to play with it, adding like little graphics here and trying to customize it to come out and time it.
Right.
It just reminded me of doing editing in a sense, except everything is already done. It's versus me doing it live.
Well, I don't know what your editing software looks like, so I'm not sure I can answer that question completely. But with the recording function of OBS, yes, you can edit. But for me, so I don't know. I don't know if you. I don't have my OBS up right now, and I can't remember. But you have whatever the category to the left is, starts with an S. I can't remember. And then you have scenes. Yes. And basically, right. So you add the scenes from the right, you add to each thing on the left. So you can go through different things. So like I have my main show stuff, but then I have my 100th show stuff, and they're all separate. So I don't have to combine them on OBS, right? They're all separate things, which is great, which is easier. But at the same time, in the middle of my show, like I did on the 102nd show with Gunny, I switched over to some of my 100th show graphics real quick because it had to do with Gunny being on his 100th show, which was the 102nd show. And so I was able to switch back and forth also real quick. So that's what I love about OBS, the flexibility of OBS and the amount of data you can put in there. I mean, it just goes forever. So I love OBS. If I ever stop doing Access Live and do something else, I will stick with OBS the whole way.
Noted. So I'll make it a personal point to try to get very familiar with it. Of course, I will come and ask you for help and things like that, since you're more acclimated with it than I am.
If anything I can't answer, I'll just ask Winkler. So we'll be
there. You
go. Because Winkler said he wouldn't help me on the down low.
Nice, man. Well, Dave, this has been a very, very good conversation. I'm really glad that you and I talked. It has been a while, and I know we had, we kind of had our little tiff a little bit.
It's okay, baby. It was what it was. No big deal.
Yeah.
So. Listen, hey, some things, when you've got multiple people in a communication platform and not all, it's not all being, said the same to everybody. Shit happens. It's no big deal.
Absolutely.
You're good.
Good. Well, I'm glad to have you as my friend. I'm glad to have you as my
Co-community ambassador of the
Mr.
season.
Season, exactly. Mr. and Mrs. Ambassador. But yeah, this has been fun, and I thank you for coming on and sharing. What some people don't get a chance to see, but others that are kind of around you get a chance to see. And when you're on your show, you're doing that. You just focused on other people, but it's nice to get a chance to see a different side of Dave or anybody that comes on. So I appreciate you.
I appreciate you asking me on, and I agree with you. Not everybody gets to see. Some people have this perspective of Dave Axis that he's just some asshole who hates the minor league and hated Shan and all this other shit. And I don't hate anybody. I don't hate any of it. I don't hate anybody. I had certain points of view on those things, and I shared them.
Well, you damn sure did.
Oh,
I mean, I was like, bruh.
Baby, listen, I told them I will ask the hard questions. I warned them. That's all I'm saying. I warned them. And listen, and Damon and I have talked a lot since then, and we're totally cool. Everything's good.
That's good.
And as a matter of fact, let me
Mhm.
tell you this too, real quick.
Yeah.
Even though I still completely don't like or disagree with what Shan did,
Mhm.
I reached out to him when I had my award show, to him and Damon, because they won show of the year from my show, right? And Damon answered and he came on. And I just had a conversation with Shan the other day. He never saw my DM, or he said he would have come on. So, time heals things. We can all talk later. I can't wait to get to the convention and talk to some of these people face to face. I've got some things up my sleeve for the convention and my show, and I know that you're going to be doing a show there. And I think here's the thing. I think the convention, and I want to end on this. I kind of had this in the back of my head, kind of the last thing I wanted to say.
Okay.
I think the convention this season is going to be a healer. I think it's going to heal a lot of bad blood between people, and which takes me back to the beginning of the show when we talked about Johnny and his persona versus the real person. I think when people meet Demond or Dave Axis or anybody else, and if they've had or Justice Blackwell, for God's sake, and we've had negative dealings with them in Gen chat or a Twitch chat or a show chat or whatever, I think when you get face to face with a person, you're going to see the person and not the persona and not the player. I think a lot of things, or a lot of divides and arguments and disagreements, I think will be healed at this convention. That's part of why I'm looking so forward to it.
I agree. I definitely agree. And you're right. When I went to the convention in Atlanta, when you're around people and they get to see you for who you are, then you kind of understand why they may react to certain things. Perhaps they had something going on in their life that you had no clue.
Right. And that's the other thing. You don't know what's going on in people's personal lives. Yeah, I agree with you, Ashley. Go ahead.
Yeah. And once you get a chance to see them, experience that person, and actually be around them, that could definitely give you another outlook on them, because you hear little things, or you may see a screenshot or two from something that's going on, and oh my God, I can't believe he or she said that or did that. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you actually get a chance to know that person and probably understand why those
and things get so misconstrued. And let me tell you, as much as I disagree with getting rid of Gen Chat 2 and the front office chat, I think there were certain, as much negativity as they both had, I think there was enough constructive things in those chats that they should have stayed. And I mean, without dialogue, you can't have progress, right? So, and that's what I'm looking forward to the convention. I think we're gonna have a lot of dialogue. A lot of people are gonna meet each other. A lot of people are gonna be like, "Holy shit, Dave Axis isn't the prick that I thought he was," or whatever, right? Yes, I am, by the way, but but I mean, that's where the disconnect lies with esports, virtual sports, whatever you want to call it, is that you can be whoever you want to be online, but it's not necessarily the real you.
Good point. I was going to ask you to. That's a great way to end it, honey. Great way to end it. I was going to give you the last word.
That's pretty much. I think that's the fucking last word, baby. That's all I'm saying.
All right, Dave. Listen, come back whenever you want to. It was always a pleasure. Maybe we can do some crossover episodes at some point.
I think we should. I think we probably should.
Yeah, definitely. But
Sounds like a
have a
plan.
good one.
And I'm looking forward to seeing you at the convention, by the way.
I'm looking forward to seeing you too. It's
We're
gonna
have
be
a good
great.
time. We're gonna have it's gonna be a party, baby.
It will be. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not drinking too much because I know how y'all are.
Okay, first of all, on the flip side of that, I will be drinking an enormous amount of alcohol. And I will be bringing an enormous amount of alcohol. And that's just a little teaser for something I'm bringing for everybody at the convention.
Uh-oh.
What?
Uh-oh, look at you.
Yeah.
You know what you can do for me, though? You can
What's
give me some of them sleeves autographed, though.
Actually, you know what? I'm trying to work a deal with Sector 6 right now that I can rush order some sleeves. I think I'm going to autograph those and give them away at the convention.
That would be
I give one to one person and one to another person, or they can auction them off or whatever. Because, I mean, sleeves is kind of my thing.
Yeah.
Just saying.
No, I'm keeping them.
I'm just.
If you give me one, I'm keeping it. I'm just telling you right now.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I might bring a couple. We'll see what happens. If I can get them. Sector 6 is kind of lagging right now and responding to me, so we'll see.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Looking forward to seeing you at the convention too. We're having a good time with each other and everything. And I'll see you very soon.
We will in less than a month.
Absolutely. It's coming up fast too.
Less than a month. I know. It was like, shit. Should I go to the gym,
Right.
or should I drink? Wait, or should I drink more? I'm gonna go with go to the gym and drink more.
Like, hey, what you see is what you get, honey.
That's what I'm saying. At this point, look, I'm 52 years old. I'm gonna file that under. I don't give a fuck. So, anyway.
All right. All right, honey.
There you go.
I'll see you soon, love.
All right, sweetie. I'll talk to you later.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Special shout out goes out to Pauly Truth for putting together my new opening theme song. I hope y'all enjoy it. And Pauly, thanks again, brother.
How can I tell him? You were not there. Oh, I thought love was here to stay.